Hey, awesomes. Just wanted to come back and, as we kind of talked about, kind of the week 2 overview video this week, talking about technical communication, talking about design principles. We're talking about making that transition kind of from establishing that foundation of what those are, how we can use them. I reviewed a little bit too in the discussion post review, pointing out how you guys are taking those concepts, right, of design, white space, seeing the page as a grid, text structures, headings, all these kinds of things that we're kind of like, boom, like big light bulbs kind of going off, in our minds about not the stand. We're not writing the standard essay anymore, right? That how we can use technical communication design principles and what technical communication is to convey this information. And the first thing we're going to do is we need to transmit, right, and convey the information about us to an intended audience, right? Hiring manager, right? HR department, CEO, department manager, whatever, hiring executives, these type of things. So these are things this is our intended audience, right? So we're going to put those things together. So I just kind of wanted to review this for those of you who want to get started or start thinking about it. I'll be posting some examples later about Project 1A. As far as like example resumes, I feel employee, use, exhibit, kind of many of the design principles that we're talking about. But for the assignment itself, in general, so this last sentence here, this first paragraph, the project will strengthen your understanding and application of our central course concepts in technical communication, of technical communication and design, right? So we're not just the standard, this is not your standard run-of-the-mill, go on Microsoft Word, find a template, plug in your information and submit it, right? We are going to control the document. We are going to start with a blank page. We are going to decide the fonts. We're going to decide where things go. We're going to be able to manipulate and put things where we want them to go. So no templates. Okay. So let's keep that in mind. No templates. So we're going to write a resume and a job application letter. We'll talk more about the job application letter later, but we're going to really thinking about, because that will be true too, right? It's not going to be in your standard MLA format, right? We have the freedom to think about fonts outside of Times New Roman, right? We can think about how we're going to put that together, how we're going to make it stand out, how we're going to entice the reader, how we're going to bring our reader in, right? Because we want them to pick up the phone and call us, right? We want them to say, hey, come in for an interview. All right, so the 3 major items that we want to think about for this, we need first thing we want to do is find a job posting, right? So let's find an actual real job posting that we would apply to after we're done, right? Try to think about what's that job we want. I realize that you won't have all the qualifications yet, right? But what this practice will do, help us think about what we want those things to look like. What are the things we need to be doing? So it's kind of like twofold, right? So we're going to make sure we find that job posting. Let's save it. All right. So once you find it, save it, download it as a PDF, save it in the document somewhere because you're going to submit that too. Then you got your job posting. Here's the job I would want to apply for down the road, right? This is my career. This is my job, right? Save that, right? Let's find that first, right? What's that job, right? If you're going into chemical engineering, what's the chemical engineering ideal job you would like? If you're going into teaching, what's the ideal teaching job that you would want? If you're going into nursing, what would be the nursing job? You're going to psychology, sociology, whatever it is, right? Then we'll use our design principles and start putting together that resume, right? 1 page. We're going to design that thing. We're going to make it pop, right? And then we'll write an attractive cover letter, right? So it's the job, right? Here's what it entails. Here are the qualifications. We're going to write the resume that's going to meet those qualifications, kind of how we see what we're going to be doing. Then we're going to write a cover letter to that particular job, right? That's our intended audience, right? Very specific audience, that hiring manager of that company, ABC company, XYZ Industries, whatever it is, right? Write a letter specifically to them, right? We're going to communicate and convey what we need to convey in a cover letter. And we'll talk about the specific details on the cover letter soon. But I think good place to start, maybe start thinking about, just some free time, start looking for job postings, right? It might take a little bit longer than you think. I don't want you to just pick the first one that comes along. I really want it to be something, this is what you really want to do, right? This is the thing that you want to, this is why you're here. This is why you're going to school, right? This is the thing that you want to do. All right. So that might be a good place to start. Then we'll talk more about the resume as we kind of get going forward, but that gives you a good idea. Okay. All right. And then find some of the details about a lot of that stuff in chapter 10 in practical strategies. All right, guys, take care for now. I'll see you soon. Stay safe. Stay awesome. Bye now.